Hello, fellow video game enthusiasts, and welcome to part 2 of my Xbox 360 collection. Let's get started. So, first up is actually and if you haven't seen my first video, I'm doing these in alphabetical order. I'm going to do about 4 episodes. I have 80 games in total, so I'm going to do 20 in each episode. So, first up is a game I actually have not played yet, and it is one that I need to get around to playing, and that is Chrome Hounds. I've heard really good things about this game. I believe it's like a mech shooter from Sega. Got it not super long ago, so I still need to check that out. Next up is a twofer, also published by Sega. And these, I haven't played the second one. I'm still working on the first one. And that is the Condemned games. So we have the first one, which I have played, and is very criminally underrated. Condemned Criminal Origins, like a psychological thriller horror game. I don't know, would I really call it horror or more psychological thriller? It's right along those lines. I mean, some kind of horror too. Haven't played the second one yet, Bloodshot, but I've heard really good things about this one as well. And for whatever reason on my shelf, I had the second one first. I don't know why. Okay, next up. Now, I haven't played this game in a long time, but when I was playing it, I loved it. And at the time, I didn't realize it was kind of a copycat of a particular PlayStation game, Dante's Inferno. So this is kind of like a copycat of God of War. Not a ripoff, more of a copycat, because this game, even though it's EA, Visceral did a fantastic job developing this game. This is so fun. It is very similar in the God of War vein, but it takes place in hell. So the story is about Dante's Inferno, which I don't remember if that what I forget what it was called, what Dante's Inferno's from. The Divine Comedy, maybe. But this is just such a good game. Go to hell. I think I just have I don't have a manual, but I love this game when I first got it. Probably about a year or two after it first came out. Like I said, didn't know it was a God of War style game, but I thought this game was just so much fun. And if you like God of War, pick this game up. It should still be pretty cheap. Okay, so this is another one kind of like Condemned, where I have 2 of them and I have yet to play the sequel, but that is The Darkness 1 and 2. So like I said, I haven't really played Darkness 2, and this is a limited edition actually, but the first one is I don't have a regular case for it, so it is upside down, but I know I say this a lot, such a good game. The Darkness are games you never hear anybody really talk about, but they're very good games that you just don't really hear much about. But they're a lot of fun. You control like these like demonic tendrils that are like growing out of your back, and like little like demonic creatures and stuff. I love that kind of stuff, and it's a first person perspective, kind of like a first person shooter, but with your like demonic tendrils coming out. It's just a load of fun. Now we got Dead Rising. Of course, a lot of people know about this game. Just it's been re-released several times. There's several sequels, but the first one is just iconic. And it's I think at the time it was kind of unique for what you could do, like playing as Adam West, grabbing like anything you can, make it into a weapon or a costume or whatever. This copy I actually just picked up a few weeks ago off of eBay. I don't have my original copy of it anymore, but I was like, I need to pick it up again, man. It's just going back and playing it. It's fun. It's a little dated, but nothing crazy. Now, here's another game where I've never played the sequels, but that's because the first game is just so good, and the sequels kind of change the genre a bit. Dead Space. I've never played the second one or third one. I've seen gameplay of them, but they changed it into more like action oriented. I know like the third one is almost just straight action, like no horror. But this is prototypical horror. This is this is an amazing horror game. This is arguably my second favorite horror game behind Until Dawn. And that could probably start an argument right there too. This is my second favorite horror game. I love this game so much. I have videos on this game. It scared the crap out of me. It's so well put together. In this one, Isaac Clarke, the main character, doesn't speak. He doesn't speak until the second one. If I remember, the third one, I think, has a new character. It's not Isaac Clarke. I don't remember. But the first Dead Space, and of course, it just got the remake, I believe in 2023, which I have not played the remake yet, and I really want to. It looks awesome. So, but if you want to go back to the original Xbox 360 version, this version should be pretty cheap still, I would imagine. Even though 360 prices are jumping, not all games are going to jump, and this should be one that stays relatively cheap, I would imagine. Now, this is the third in a game series, but it's my introduction to it, and that is Diablo 3. I pre-ordered this, got this day one from GameStop, back when it came out. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I had a couple friends who were like, hey, let's play some online, you should get it, and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. Usually, it doesn't look like it's my style of game, honestly. But then I started getting into it, and I'm like, this is actually pretty fun. And I picked it up, something for the Switch. They put Diablo 3 on Switch, and I played that somewhat recently and really enjoyed it. So I haven't played Diablo 4 yet. That's also on my to-do list. But Diablo 3 was my introduction, and I'm really glad I picked it up. It's still not my favorite style of game, I will admit. It is fun, especially when you can play with friends. Next up, this is a game that I'm not sure too many people know about. Or Digimon. This is Digimon All-Star Rumble. It's fine. It's not like a Digimon World or like a Digimon Story. It's more or less Digimon Combat, which I believe, yeah, they had were they called the Digimon Arena games? I played a couple of them on GameCube, but I don't remember. I want to say they were called Arena. Some along those lines, like the Digimon fighting games that they had back on the GameCube. And this is like the only, when I heard this was coming out, I'm like, I definitely got to get that. I didn't get it for a few years. It's not even, it doesn't have like the original box or anything, but I got the artwork and the disc. I got it as a gift, and I'm really happy I did. I love Digimon, still to this day. But yeah, Digimon fighting game. Now here we go. This is a game that is going up in price, and there are multiple versions of it. This is Divinity 2. Forget what the Dragon Knight Saga. The other one is called like Eco Draconis, I believe, and that one is like, I think, a lot easier to find. Honestly, one day, probably like 10 years ago or so, I mainly picked this up because I thought the cover looked cool. And I mean, it was like an RPG. I'm like, ooh, could I play more? Could it be like Skyrim and stuff? Skyrim Light? It is an RPG. It's not like as like polished as Skyrim, but still very good. Another underrated game. This one is going up in price. I don't think the other one really is, but this game is getting kind of hard to find. And if you guys like RPGs, absolutely. And oh, I forgot, if you've seen it, that's probably a reason why it's going up in price. I could be wrong, but Atlas Games got the manual and the game. Divinity 2 Dragon Knight Saga. If you love your RPGs, especially like Skyrim, Oblivion Light, probably more akin to Oblivion than Skyrim, really. Oh yeah, I forgot the freaking biggest part of this game. You turn into a dragon. Duh. How did I forget about that? Until I saw the back. I'm like, oh yeah, you get to turn into a dragon and fight. That is awesome. Yeah, I have several games like that. This is one of them. Dragon Rage on PS2. Dragon Guard also, I believe. I haven't gotten super far in Dragon Guard. I do believe you transform into a dragon in that one. So I have several games like that. Of course, like Spyro is one of my favorite video game series. Speaking of dragons, if I can get this back on the shelf, the next one has dragon in the title, and then it's Dragon's Dogma, another fantastic RPG, this time Capcom. Now, I know Dragon's Dogma 2 just got released to not great reviews because of their in-game loot boxes or purchases or something really stupid that Capcom should not have done, but they did. But I've heard the game is fantastic, and so is the first one. I also have it, they do have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, also on, I believe on 360 PS3, but also like remastered like PS4 or Switch. I have it on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC maybe. Never played Dark Arisen. I have it on Switch. I just got it not that long ago, but I've played Dragon's Dogma. I love this game, and I believe Dark Arisen just adds some stuff to it. I think, don't quote me on that, but the first Dragon's Dogma, this game is really cool, very good RPG. Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. This is the only Dynasty Warriors game I have played. But this has a very special place in my heart. It's very nostalgic for me. I played this with a friend growing up, and just so much fun. If you guys are familiar with the pretty much any kind of Koei Tecmo game, but Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, Samurai Warriors, any type of game like that, it's just like that. This is ancient China. All like the generals are real, and it's a Warriors game. So there's Dynasty Warriors 5, I'm pretty sure, and then there's Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. I'm not really sure what the difference is. I know I just really love this game. The Elder Scrolls 4 and 5. So Oblivion and Skyrim. I played Skyrim first. Let me just get that out of the way. I played Skyrim first. I bought Skyrim when it first came out, and I went back to Oblivion. And probably shouldn't have done that. Oblivion it's still a fantastic game, don't get me wrong, but it's not Skyrim in my opinion. Of course it's not, but it's just cool. This came complete. It's still complete. I have the map actually hanging up. So I'm very happy with Oblivion. I should have played it first. I really wish I would have gotten this when it first came out. But still, very good game. And then my favorite game of all time is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Probably a lot of people's favorite game. And probably a lot of people's introduction to Elder Scrolls, just like mine. I have, oh my god, I don't know how many Skyrim maps I have. I have like 15. I have so many Skyrim maps. First Defense Force series is at 2025. Of course, we get to kill giant insects and spiders and stuff. Just a fun, campy shooting game. Next up is another underrated gem, and that is Enslaved. I haven't gotten very far in this game, but this is a very cool game. And I also just noticed this Walmart exclusive DLC on there, but I bought this used, so I doubt that's even worth anything. But yeah, Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a fantastic, underrated gem that you should pick up. A game that everybody's familiar with, and I also just realized I don't currently have the physical form of the third one. I must have got rid of that a while ago, but that is Fallout New Vegas. So I need to get Fallout 3 again, huh? But Fallout New Vegas, I mean, really, no. Do I have to say anything about Did I have to say anything about Skyrim? I don't know, or Oblivion. I don't know. Some of the greatest games on, actually, not even on the 360. Some of the greatest games of the 7th generation. Fallout 3 and New Vegas, Skyrim, Oblivion. My last video, I said Batman Arkham City. I mean, I would, in my opinion, those are some of the greatest games of that generation. All right, got just two more for you. I know you just want to get it out from seeing my face. Far Cry 3. So I actually did play Far Cry 2. It's not bad, but Far Cry 3 is where Far Cry took off. From 3 to the newest Far Cries, 3 might still be my favorite. 4 is fantastic, don't get me wrong. 3 might still be my favorite. Never really played 5. Primal's cool, but different. And then 6 is good, but it's just not. It's not 3 or 4 even. And now, last one for today. I don't have the original case or anything. I just have the disc. But that is Fuel. Somewhat infamous racing game. If you know, you know. Fuel, I'm not sure if it still does. I would assume not. But at the time, when it came out, the largest video game map, at least on consoles. But Fuel had the largest video game map. It's a racing game. The racing's fine, but the map is desolate. It's empty. There's hardly anything to do in the map. There's like some vistas and stuff like that, and like races you can find, but there's like nothing else. It's like this giant map with nothing in it. It's not a bad racing game. It's just kind of, the world is boring. So that is part 2 of my Xbox 360 collection. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I love going through this and talking about